Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I made these cards here. Now these cards are really quick and easy to do, they look fantastic and they are brilliant for using up your scrap pieces of cardstock. Now before I get into the video, I would just like to ask that if you're not already subscribed to my channel, that you hit subscribe and help my channel grow. And if you enjoyed this video or find it useful, please hit the thumbs up button. These three cards here have been made using Craft Consortium products and they are all slightly different. So this one here is using patina and I've gone direct to a card blank to do this. Then this one here is using In the Forest and I have cut it down slightly and then mounted it onto a card blank and just left a small border at top and bottom. I've used glossy accents on the With Love and that's cut out of navy cardstock. And then this one is also using In the Forest, but this one I cut down a lot and left a nice wide border all the way around. I have used black cardstock for the sentiment and I've left it quite plain. So let me show you how I made these cards. Now I know I said that these are great for using up your scraps and they absolutely are, but I am dying to use the Ink Drops Ocean Pad that I've recently been sent, and I think this will work so well on one of these cards. Now because I've only just been sent it, I only have one piece of scrap card in here, so I'm going to need to cut into some of the other papers. If you haven't seen the flip through of this pad, I will leave it in the description box of the video so you can have a quick look because it's absolutely beautiful. I like to keep my offcuts in the pads so I know where they are, so I'm just going to grab out my offcut piece. And the first thing we're going to do is cut some strips from your offcuts. So these are the ones I've already done, but I'm going to do one more on camera with you so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to use my paper trimmer. This is really easy to do. All we're going to do is line it up with the 1 inch mark. If you want to do bigger you can, but for this I just found 1 inch work best. I'm going to trim to the 1 inch and then we're going to lie it sideways and trim at 6 inches so that we've cut it right down. I'm going to put this piece off to the side. We're going to work with our 6 inch piece. The next thing I'm going to want to do is to cut from corner to corner on the diagonal. So again, I'm just going to use my paper trimmer to do that. Now this technique is by no means my own idea. I've seen this done. I was actually challenged to make these cards and now I'm a little bit addicted to making them. But also when I make cards and post them in the Craft Consortium network, I like to follow it up with a video because a lot of people find that useful, or that's what I'm finding more recently. Okay, so we have now 2 pieces that we can add to my pile of pre-done ones. Okay, let's put those to the side. I'm also going to be working with 2 Craft UK 6x6 card blanks, so I'm just going to use one for now. And I'm actually going to cut this in half. Just bring my trimmer back in. So you could potentially make 2 cards. I'm going to only use 1 card blank for now. So we're going to grab our strips and we're going to start laying these down in a pattern. Now I'm going to start in the middle of my cardstock. You absolutely don't have to do this. If you find it easier to, you could start at the side and work your way up and around. I just found it was easier to start in the middle because then I've got a good central point to work from. So we lay the first one down with the point facing us and the thicker bit at the top. Then we grab our next strip and we're going to position it next to the central one. We are going to leave a really slight border. So you do want to be able to see the white cardstock underneath, or alternatively this would work on black I'm thinking it might work on craft, but for the best results I think you want either black or white base cardstock. And then I'm going to go the other side as well. Now I'm going to be doing a repeating pattern, but again you can do whatever works for you. And then I'll come in with my next one. And the next one. Now you might notice at this point that it's starting to leave gaps at the top of the paper here where the strips don't quite reach the top. That's absolutely fine, and that is why I'm demoing in this way today, because sometimes it does happen. So I'm going to show you a workaround for that. So we're going to keep going with our patterned paper. So this is how I'm looking right now. Now you will also notice that this is slightly uneven and I have a big gap here. Now that's because I don't want to waste any of the paper. So once I have trimmed off the excess, I'm actually going to use the top bit of this piece here to lay here. Once you're happy with the pattern you've created, you can go ahead and glue it down to your card base. So to do that, I'm going to use a scrap piece of cards to protect my mat. I'm actually using this glue here. You can use whatever you like. I'm just experimenting with different glues, and I've had this for ages and not used it, so that's why I'm using this. So I'm probably going to start at the sides this time and work my way around. So I'll put you on high speed while I do that, and once I'm done sticking everything down, I'll come back to you. So this is where we're at right now, and what we're going to do really quickly is bring in some long bladed scissors, and very carefully we are going to trim off all of this excess. Just like that. So now all I need to do is grab the offcut from this piece here, trim it down and stick it down here. So now that's all adhered down, we need to trim this down because we have some gaps at the top of the cardstock. So if we bring in our trimmer, all we need to do is lay the cardstock in the trimmer, and you're going to work to the lowest point of the biggest gap. So I'm going to line it up just here, like so, and I'm going to make sure it's nice and straight in the trimmer. And then I'm just going to slice the whole thing off. And there we go. You'd never know that there'd been any gaps. Next we're going to add our sentiment. Now I have used the Enjoy from this Dynamics die set. This again is a Craft Consortium product that they sent to me in a design team box, and I could not wait to use it. Now I have actually cut this out of two colours. I have cut it out of green, and that's going to be my focal colour, but I've also cut it 3 times out of white card. Well, the reason I've done this is, first of all, I want to give it some dimension. I don't want it just being flat, but also what I'm wanting to do is when I adhere this to the card, These are all going to be neatly on top of each other, but this is going to have a slight white border because it just adds to the effect and carries through the white that we've left down there. So really quickly, I'll get these all glued together and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so here is the layered Enjoy in white. I've used Cosmic Shimmer glue for this because it dries clear. So if you get glue in a spot where actually you didn't want it, you're not going to see it at the end anyway. So I'm just going to dot the glue all around this Enjoy sentiment, and then I'm going to layer the green one on top, and I will show you what I mean about leaving a slight white shadow underneath. It's super effective. It's like giving the ghosting effect that you can sometimes get stamping but using die cuts, and this time we're actually meaning to do it. It's not an accident. Okay, so I've got glue on my Enjoy. So all I'm going to do as I lay this on top is just make sure that the white underneath is just peeking through. I'm not leaving a lot, it's just the tiniest little glimpse of white. And again, using wet glue gives you the flexibility to move things around until you're happy. Although you do run the risk of gluing yourself to your project slightly. Move those two over a bit. And then all we're going to do is layer this onto the front of the card, like so. But I wanted to change it up a little bit this time round because I've done 3 with just die cut sentiments on the front. So this time I've got the Enjoy, and what I've done is I've stamped your birthday on this really thin strip of card. I'm going to layer it just underneath. Now that sentiment came from a stamp set that came in Creative Stamping. It was called Life's an Adventure. It is a few years old now. You might be able to pick it up on de-stash sites, but I just thought it worked so well as a finishing touch. So I'm going to go ahead and glue the Enjoy down, and I think what I'm going to do is use some small foam pads to put that Your Birthday on here. So now we're going to bring in our other card blank and we're going to fold it in half, and it's time to mount this onto the front of the card blank. Now I quite like that as it is. I like the border top and bottom, so I don't think I'm going to cut it down anymore. But if you did decide you wanted to trim it down so there was a more equal border all the way around, you absolutely could take some off this side. But I like it like that, so I'm just going to grab some wet glue and put that on the front. On the previous cards, when I have adhered this to the front of the card, I've used foam pads to do so, but today I decided just to go straight in with the wet glue and leave it quite flat because I've got dimension on the front already with the happy birthday. Now the nice thing about using one of these card blanks from the get-go is that you know it's going to fit really nicely when you come to lay it down. As a finishing touch today, I'm going to use some glossy accents over the Enjoy, just to add a little bit of something special. And there we go. I can't tip it up too much because I don't want the glossy accents running off while it's still wet, but I think that's turned out really nicely. So that's how I make these really lovely cards, just using pieces of offcuts from my paper pads. I really hope you've enjoyed the video today and that you'll give it a go. If you have enjoyed the video, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe and help my channel grow. Let me know in comments if you have a favourite card out of all the ones I've made. And if you do give this a go, I'd love to be able to see. So I'll leave my socials in the description box of this video so you're able to tag me if you post them on social media. Thank you so much for watching today. I will be back soon with more videos. So until next time, take care and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.